this nifty little mind map here that we can create and save, and we can add to it, take away from it, and it's a lot clearer than some of our handwriting, because I know I need help with my handwriting, so this is a lot better way to organize our ideas. So we're going to start with our main bubble, the Paris Peace Conference, and we're going to add to that. So don't show again. So again, who were participated in the Paris Peace Conference? Who were the big four? Yep. United States, Great Britain, France, and Italy. And look how nifty this is. We can just organize it, move it around, so we have a lot more room to add more stuff onto it, add more of our thoughts to it. So now, who is the Central Powers? Who did we defeat? Yep, it was Germany, and Austria-Hungary. And also let's throw in the Ottoman Empire for good measure, since they were part of the Central Powers as well. But we want to have our main focus on Germany and Austria-Hungary. So now with our mind map started, we can gather a lot more ideas for our research that we're going to perform here in a little while when we get into groups. One of the big things that was part of the Paris Peace Conference was Wilson's 14 points. Some of these were important in terms of negotiating world peace. Since the Great War was known or thought of as the war to end all wars, Wilson imagined a set of rules, or how should you put it, or guidelines to ensure world peace. Some of them were freedom of navigation of the seas, removal of economic barriers, and establishment of equal trade. Adequate guarantees given and taken that national armaments will be reduced to the lowest point consistent with domestic safety. So pretty much to where countries can protect themselves but not cause invasions and take over territory. And again, another one would be a General Association of Nations to be formed, which would be called later on be called the League of Nations. And again, this would be available so that other nations can talk it out diplomatically, their problems or grievances, as opposed to just going into war again after such devastating losses of life and treasure. And also he opposed harsh treatment of Germany, in which France wasn't really too particularly happy about with Germany, since the war was fought on their land. So with France, they were concerned with weakening Germany's economy. Clemenceau wanted to bring France's border to the Rhine and create a buffer zone in the Rhineland, so that way they would prevent future wars. And they wanted Germany to pay heavy reparations. So let's go over here to our mind map. Oh, let me undo this one. So first what we'll do is take a look at France. And they wanted, let's see, what did he want? They wanted territory in the Rhineland. And we'll just put that in parentheses as buffer to Germany. Buffer against Germany. And we'll just move that right over here. And let's see, what's another one do they want? Yep, and they wanted Germany to pay economically for the war. And then since we're on the topic of Germany, we can just go down here and add that. Add reparations. Or payments to allied countries. Okay. And then Britain. So Britain, they supported the reparations, but they didn't want to be as harsh as what France wanted to be towards them. They wanted to restore Germany as an important trading partner, and this was because Germany created a lot of good industrial products. They have developed a strong economy, so that they can support themselves. And plus, this would also help pay for their reparation payments. And they also wanted to settle territorial contentions, mainly their their colonies that they acquired over time. And so what we can do over here then add to our mind map. So less reparations from Germany. And also take away or settle colonial disputes. All right. And then Italy. So what they just wanted territories in southeastern Europe and some colonies in Africa and Asia. Since they, remember, they turned sides when the U.S. joined the war back in 1917. They thought they were entitled to some new territory that would help their economy. They only received a few territories that was promised and there was a secret treaty of London of 1915 in which convinced Italy to join the Allies. So what we'll do is go to Italy, and we'll undo that one. And we'll put Treaty of London, 1915. And we'll move this. And only received few pieces of territory. All right. We'll just move that right here. Move that right there for now. So if we look at our mind map, we expand it out a bit. Why don't we make these different colors? If I can only figure it out. Sometimes this technology doesn't want to cooperate. Well, now there it goes. And you can change the colors to however you want, just so it'll be a lot more easily identifiable to you. But for now, we'll just leave it at this. And we'll delete this one. There we go. But you can see our mind map is growing by the second. Alright. And then we got Germany. So Germany, they actually had to surrender 10% of its pre-war territory and all of its overseas possessions. Their army and navy were limited in size because it was feared that the biggest fear in Europe was German army, since they were organized, well-equipped, well-trained. If you remember, it was only because of the help of United States and their industrial capacity and bringing new men over to Europe and help fight. That was why how the stalemate from trench warfare became overran, and we were able to defeat Germany. Kaiser Wilhelm II, remember, the leader of Germany, or the king of Germany, and other high-ranking officials were to be tried as war criminals. And Germans accepted responsibility for the war and were made to pay financially to the Allies. And this was in the most important article of the Treaty of Versailles. It was called Article 231. So what we'll do is we'll come over back to our mind map, and we'll just add to this one. So we'll put Kaiser Wilhelm II, war criminal. And remember, we just want to keep this short and sweet. We don't want to write big sentences and all that stuff. We just want to keep our ideas limited, and we'll expand upon them later. And we already got the reparations, but from before, we were talking about France. So we will also talk about limited military size. We'll move that right there. We just spread this out a bit so it'll be a lot easier to read. And that's what's nice about this mind map, is that you can move it around, you can organize it the way you see fit, and have it color code the way you want to. So it'll be a lot easier for you. When I was in high school, all we had was pieces of paper and pencils and crayons and all that stuff, and we had it colored in. And sometimes it got hard trying to find room for your ideas when it filled up like this. It filled up pretty darn fast. So you see, now we can starting to see we got our main idea right here, and we're branching out into our subcategories and talking about each one of these. So what we want to do now is we want to go to the library, and we'll get into our groups, and I'll pick the groups for you guys. But we want to get on our groups and start researching. What we want to do is we want to talk about some of you guys. One group is going to be a French delegation, so you're going to talk about what you guys think is important to be included in the treaty. Same with Italy. 5 or 6 of you are going to be part delegates in representing Italy. Same with the United States, Germany, Great Britain, and Austria-Hungary. What we're going to do is all do research for our respective countries, and we're going to come back and talk about the terms and conditions about the Paris Peace Conference.